This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, and insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Hi everybody, welcome to show 284, Aussie Mac Zone. How are you, Zarn?
Fantastic, Michael. How are you?
Very, very good, thanks. Very good. Tonight we are brought to you by IT Help to You and Aussie Tech Heads Domains, which we'll talk about shortly.
Excellent.
Just fix that on the show notes. Our Aussie Apple ramblings this week. So firstly, the big news early on, just after our show last week was, but firstly, sorry, as an aside, because we're talking about Apple's quarterly report, did you know just Apple and Google, so their values exceed all of the Australian stock market? Just Apple and Google.
Wow.
Blows you away, doesn't it?
That's absolutely insane.
So Apple last week announced their earnings for the second quarter of the 2019 fiscal year. Revenue was down 5.1% to 58 billion this quarter. Gross margin for the quarter was 37.6%, down from 38.3%. And operating income was down 15.6% to 13.4 billion. And net income fell to just 11.6 billion.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Yes. The returnings per share of, pardon me, $2.46, which is down 9.9% from a year ago. Now, just to give you a bit of an idea, iPhones were down 17.3%. iPads were up 21.5%.
Wow.
The Macs, it says, were down 4.5%, but I thought they were up, actually. So, wearables, home and accessories up 30%, and services, which is like iCloud and Apple Music, etc., up 16.2%, and they haven't even got into the TV shows or anything yet.
So you think the iPads and that, you think they're up now because of eSIM and that sort of stuff?
Oh no, we got new ones. That's what took them up.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the new iPads. Yeah. So because you can get the eSIMs and everything like that now, you don't really even need a phone. You can just do everything from your iPad and your wearable.
Yeah.
So and it gives you a bigger screen. You got your wearable as well, so therefore the phone basically becomes non-existent. You don't actually really need it if you've got your iPad, because you can put all your contacts or your numbers, everything like that, into your iPad, into your watch, and makes it, video calling and everything like that. You can do everything you need to do right there.
But basically also everybody's got a phone now,
Yeah.
Almost like, first world problem.
Yeah.
We've all got phones.
Exactly.
And when I get a new one every 2 years or 3 years, I pass it down the line, and Karen passes it down the line, and you pass it down the line, and everyone's got one. So
everyone does.
So that's
look at Omar and my nan.
Yeah.
Are both rocking iPhones.
Yeah.
My nan's rocking an iPad. My nan's 80. She's 21. I should say. Sorry, Nan.
Right.
And she's got, that's all about, like, she's always on her iPad playing with it and looking at Facebook and playing, either the pokey games on there or some sort of game or solitaire card games, that sort of stuff. So there's really actually something for everybody.
Yes, that's right. And it definitely makes a difference, and because we get 2, 3, 4 years out of them before it's not the point where, a few years ago, there was a huge difference between a 2007 iPhone and a 2008, or a 2008 to 2009. Big differences.
Yeah, but there's no real big differences anymore either.
There's not, no.
Like I've got the iPhone 5S at the moment because I broke my iPhone 6 Plus, and it does everything. Like, it's a little phone, but it still does everything I need it to do.
Yep.
So there's and how old's that now? Like 7 years old?
Yeah.
Like, So I think we're over the, oh my God, we need the new device every year.
Yeah.
And that's why phones are down. And
maybe, we've grown up a bit.
Yeah, and we now, we're waiting for some fantastic technology to come along before we actually go out there and don't get me wrong, eSIM is fantastic technology.
Yeah.
And it's about time we got this, but it's not something to run out, and be like, oh my God, I need it, so yeah.
Exactly right. And besides that, it's not supported by everybody yet anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
Very annoying. Now, this is an unusual one. Apple warns iPhone users not to answer Apple support calls. Now, Forbes, Kerr of Apple News tells us iPhone users have been warned not to answer calls from Apple unless they have specifically requested one using the official Apple online support page. This comes off the back of a rash of spoof support calls that have become increasingly sophisticated in their efforts to get access to Apple iCloud accounts. How sophisticated? How does displaying the Apple logo, the address, and correct support telephone number grab you? Here's what you need to know. The scam. The telephone calls are straightforward phishing, the same you will seen countless times in your email, no doubt. They have more success because people still aren't expecting voice to be used in such social engineering scams. The scams employ caller ID spoofing techniques so as to impersonate the real telephone number of the service they claim to be representing. Most commonly, as far as this particular threat is concerned, that will be Apple support, although I have been told by those on the receiving end of such calls that Apple Care and Apple customer service have also been used in an attempt to gain the trust of the victim. By spoofing the number and displaying the Apple logo, the fraudsters hope that the person answering the call will be less suspicious than if they were taking an unsolicited call from a number they didn't recognize. This kind of brand recognition leverage is high on the phishing 101 list of ways to garner victim trust. It's why telephone scams supposedly from Microsoft support, which don't have the same trust-enhancing methodologies, tend to be less successful. As the fact site Snoop confirms, if the recipient is an iPhone user who then requests a call back from Apple's legitimate customer support webpage, the fake call gets indexed in the iPhone's recent calls list as a previous call from the legitimate line. The bait will vary, but is always going to be a variation on the theme of your account has been compromised, there's been a data breach, or there's been suspicious activity on your account. Now, basically, they're just saying, please tell us what your account is and what your password is. And you don't give that to anybody on the phone.
You don't give it to anybody, full stop.
Yeah. So, now, Apple on Twitter, unsurprisingly, getting regular tweets from concerned iPhone users have received such a call and want to know if it's genuine and their accounts have been compromised. The response is most always the same. Your security is our number one priority. You can find more information about phony calls and learn how to report them by following the steps in the article. If you follow that link, it will take you to a support post entitled Avoid Phishing Emails, Fake Virus Alerts, Phony Phone Support Calls, and Other Scams. So, yeah, there's a whole heap of information on there. So,
I think all I've got to say about this is we've said it once, we've said it twice, we've said it 3 times.
Yeah.
Don't give out your information to anybody unless you have called that company.
Yep.
You don't give out your information, because if someone's called you and they want that information, it's a scam. And if it's not a scam, say no worries, I can give you that information, I'll call you right back.
That's
and
right.
call the company and say, I just had this call. I want to know if it's verified.
Yep. It's as simple as that.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
We don't want you to lose any of this data. We don't want your information. We don't want you to. Please take note.
Yeah. And it's because if they get your Apple information, just as an example, and that happens to be where your bank sends your change your password email to,
Yep.
they get into your bank account.
That's right.
Goes downhill. So you just don't give it out to anybody unless you made the phone call.
That's right.
And you're very, very confident you're talking to the right people.
That's right.
Please. Even to the point we talked about, it was last week we were talking about it, where they've only got to be one phone, like they're buying phone numbers that are only one digit out.
That's
so if
right.
you make a mistake.
Yep. And I said that we've had it happen to us. And then we called NAB because it was for NAB. We called them and they had no idea what we were talking about.
Yeah.
And they said that the phone number I gave them was literally one digit different.
Yeah. So
Yep.
now, Apple and HTC, pardon me, might be overestimating their phone battery stats. Now, with battery life arguably one of the most important features in a smartphone, we hope that manufacturers tell us the truth when it comes to their battery claims. However, Consumer Affairs Association brand name, which is called Which found that Apple and HTC may have overestimated their battery claims. Starting with Apple, Which reportedly tested 9 iPhone models and found that all 9 fell short of Apple's publicised battery estimates. For example, Which found that the iPhone XR lasted for 16 hours and 52 minutes. Apple claims it'll do up to 25. Well, that is up to 25.
Yep.
Now, as for HTC, the company claims an average talk time of 20.5 for its smartphones. However, Which found the average to be 19.6 hours in its test.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah, but that said, Which didn't share how it achieved the results. The brand claims that it fully charged independently purchased phones and then made continuous calls, which didn't provide other testing parameters, such as whether the calls were made on Wi-Fi or cellular, whether the phones only had stock apps or also had other apps installed, whether software versions changed anything, and how many tests it conducted per device.
And who's making calls for a constant 20 hours?
Yes. Now, it's also a bit strange to see that, for example, an Xperia Z5 Compact was tested since Sony launched the phone in 2015.
Yep.
Also, Which didn't provide a full list of tested phones in its press release for some reason. So it's all
It is spooky, Michael. That's right.
there's a few questions there.
There is. Now, the fact that they're saying that the HTC lasted 19.6 hours,
Yeah.
and it's meant to last 20. That's 20 hours.
Yes.
Like, come on, you know. And you're right. What apps are running depends on how they use the phone. You know, to me, that sounds pretty much like sound information. Like, yep, it lasted 20 hours. Well done.
So, yeah. So it'd be interesting. Like I said, they didn't release enough of their information to tell, so people can double check.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Might be a bit of brouhaha to me.
Well, it had Apple's question mark on it, so it would have got a lot of clicks.
Yep.
Maybe there was some ads going on there. Anyway, remember this week we are brought to you by IT Help to You. It's all part of the fun. ithelptoyou.com.au. Go in, have a look. If you need some support, give us a yell. That's all I can say.
That's right. Family-run business.
Yes. Now, see, just had a crash. My notes just crashed. There we go. Now, Morrison pledges $156 million to build Cyberforce and fight cybercrime if re-elected. Now, ZDNet reports the multi-million-dollar investment will be used to thwart cybercrime gangs, build a cyber force, and help small businesses stay protected. Prime Minister Scott Morrison has pledged to protect older Australians, businesses, and national security assets from the risk of cyber attacks.
With Cyberforce.
Yeah, if his government is voted back next month. But mentioned during the 2019-20 budget that was delivered earlier this month, the pledge of 156 will be used to thwart cybercrime and beef up the cyber threat.
And you don't have to worry about where it's coming from, because we all know it's coming from pensioners, schools, and healthcare.
The Cyber Resilience and Workforce Package will include $50 million for the creation of Cyber National Security National Workforce Growth Program that Morrison expects will create the cyber workforce the country needs. The Cyber Security National Workforce Growth Program will see Departments of Defence and Home Affairs work alongside industry and academia under the guidance of the National Cyber Security Advisor Alistair McGibbon to create the program. Now, the only problem I see is this: is why is he pledging the money when he's already put it in the budget and told everybody it's in the budget? I don't quite get that part of the story, because it's in the budget.
It is in the budget.
I don't believe
a word.
I don't believe either side.
Neither do I.
Can change the budget that quickly when they get in anyway. So
they can't. And this all
that
has
budget
to.
is for next year. So anything that anyone's.
It all has to go through a procedure where it's either in or out. And so this is literally malarkey. They're talking nonsense.
They're promising each other everything.
Yeah.
So, speaking about Space Invaders, you had to see the news to get that one. Our gaming section.
Yes.
Go for it.
So this week. Oops, hang on a second.
Sorry.
You're all right. Hang on. Here we are. Oh, there I am. Hello. I was fixing my camera a little bit. One moment. There we go. I look great. All right. So this week, inducted into the Video Game Hall of Fame was Super Mario Kart. We've also got Mortal Kombat, Solitaire, Colossal Cave Adventures. I don't know what that is. I've got to admit to you, I do.
The Windows Solitaire.
Oh, it was Windows, was it?
Yeah.
Excellent. Super Mario Kart, I definitely know what that is.
Yeah.
Hours and hours and hours of fun on my Super NES with neighbour kids, brothers, cousins, uncles, dads and mums.
Yeah.
We just played the absolute heck out of that game, and then did so for decades. From console to console.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Super Mario Kart, and then it doesn't matter what version you're playing. It's just an amazing fun. Mortal Kombat's pretty much the same. Who doesn't love Mortal Kombat? The finishing moves, I remember when it first came out, the finishing moves and Scorpion's get over here, and all that sort of stuff.
Nah. So I don't know Mortal Kombat at all.
Yep.
I don't know Colossal Cave Adventure either, but yeah, because I'm a little bit older.
Yep.
I do know Super Mario Kart because I'm interested in car racing and stuff.
Yep. And it was just a legendary game. And I remember when it came out on the Wii, Mario Kart came out on the Wii. It was excellent. It was so much fun. You could buy little steering wheels, put the controller in, and you're driving around, and it's a fantastic game. So there's also some of the games that were in the final runner-up sort of stuff. So let me just read this. I'm reading it straight from a bit of paper that Michael awesomely printed out for me. Were Candy Crush Saga, Centipede, Dance Dance Revolution. Again, Dance Dance Revolution is fantastic. I don't care who you are. It's such a cool game. It's fun to play. It's fun to watch. We're only talking about this off air, sort of 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Going up the main street in the city on George Street, watching kids play Dance Dance and just killing it. Like it was fantastic. It's something to laugh at, and you could buy the Dance Dance mats as well for the Wii.
Yeah.
And play it in your house. I did have one because again, funny. It's so much. It's so much fun. What else have we got on here? We got Half-Life. Again, Half-Life was an amazing game. Curtis, Michael, has Half-Life figure, the gun.
Yeah. Yep.
Missed. Unfortunately, I don't know what that is. NBA 2K.
I remember. I only I know that the game Missed, but I can't remember it that well. Yeah, I have played Missed.
Yeah. NBA 2K. That was a great basketball game.
Yeah.
I thought it was an amazing game. I'm not much of a football, basketball, that sort of game player. I like more of the Half-Life and that sort of stuff. But still, playing with mates with NBA 2K was always fun. We've got Sid Meier's Civilization. Did play that. Do like that game. Anything where you can sort of build a civilization from the ground up, making you feel godlike is excellent. And last but not least was Super Smash Brothers. Again, another great game from Nintendo. Nintendo, when we talk Nintendo, you don't really talk failure anyway. If they've had a hit and miss, it's been very rarely.
Yeah.
And so Super Smash Brothers, well, they've only just released their new Super Smash Brothers, and I played that at Comic-Con. Was it Super Smash? Oh no, we played both. We played Super Smash and Party, and Mario Party. That's right. And it was fantastic. Pikachu against Mario, and Mario against Luigi, and these are fantastic games. And the four that were actually inducted, have spanned decades. Like Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart, the first one came out with the Super Nintendo, so that was early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and to this day we're still playing Mario Kart. Yes, it's a different version, but it's still that same game. It's still got the nostalgia. You can still play some of the levels that are from the original. They don't take all the levels and make new levels. They also bring classic racing tracks with them as they get older, which is good. And so some of the games are multi-platform as well. Like Half-Life is multi-platform. Dance Dance is multi-platform. What else have we got? Unfortunately, I don't know Colossal Cave Adventure, so I can't say if it's multi-platform or not. Solitaire was Microsoft, but you could also get it on your phones and stuff like that back in the day.
Yes. Still can.
There you go.
when I have trouble getting to sleep, I play a game of Solitaire.
Yep. See, there you go. And I know, definitely Super Mario Brothers and Mortal Kombat have influenced the gaming industry big time. There's so many games come off the back of both of those games. I could name a few off the top of my head, but I won't, because I don't want to say that they're stealing their mojo or anything like that. But so well done, Nintendo. With Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Kart, sorry.
Yeah.
Capcom, is it, for Mortal Kombat? Let's hope so, because I've just said it. And Solitaire for Microsoft. Well, yeah, great. So that's gaming review this week.
Yeah, so we'll have a link.
Yep.
Which will have the full story with game reviews of each, one by the judges.
Yep. Hang on, we've got a few more. Sorry.
No, but so I'll have a link there. That's not the link I can see, but yes, but there's also now some more stories for you on the gaming side of things.
There is. So, what have we got here, Helen? Launching first in the antipods is the same approach Nanuk took with Pokemon Go, the teaser video we saw last year below. Gave very little clues as to what to expect. I've missed
gone
some.
too far
I
forward.
have. Sorry, people.
It should start with also Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Oh, yes. Wizards Unite. Oh, my God. That's right. So, Wizards Unite with Harry Potter. So, it's a similar sort of layout as Pokemon Go. You can do it in augmented reality. And I think you can also do it without that. The same as you can with Pokemon Go. What's this one? In November last year is available on. So it's available on beta, but only in 2 countries. After
No, it's not. It's not in beta. It is. There was a thing where people announced it, and then yes, it was available. No, it wasn't.
Yep.
Yes, it was. There was a whole heap of.
So it's currently available in Australia and New Zealand.
Yep.
But you can register to receive an alert once it is available. So you can't get it here yet.
No, you can't. It's in Australia and New Zealand.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh my God, why am I getting this so mixed up? I apologise, people.
And then, once it's available in the States, you can go and register. So if you're in the States or England and you say, they'll tell you when it's coming to you.
Awesome. So yes, you can get it here and in New Zealand.
Yes.
So I'm going to check that out actually. Now that I know that you can get it here, I will definitely be downloading that. Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Yep.
I will be talking about that next week because I'm going to download it tonight after the show and give it a go. I love Harry Potter. Absolutely fantastic book range. Storytelling, the movies were great. So yeah, I'd be excited to try the game out and give you feedback on it.
Excellent.
Awesome. All right, back to you, Michael.
Thank you. Now, where are we up to? Okay, so we're also brought to you this week by Aussie Tech Heads Domains. So you think about domains that you might be interested in for your business. You can come up. There's a stack of them nowadays because we've got .com, .net. We've had .biz for a while or .info. There's .mobi. Say you're a lawyer, you can get .lawyer, or you're an accountant, or you're a dancing school. You could be, Julie's .academy.
Even you might be a motor dismantler.
Yeah.
You might have a small business selling parts online, and you want to branch out and have your own web page.
Yeah. So there's Zarn .engineering, or
that's right.
Fit .equipment, or Sunday night .events, for example. These are all the different ones. There's .fish or .fishing or .flights.
The sky's the limit. It really
guru.
is.
You could be a guru. Tell everyone you're
I am a guru.
Oh, here's the one for us, son.
Yep.
It's a little bit more expensive, but it's .sexy.
What can I say? It's worth the money.
We are.
Yes, we are.
There's .tattoo, .tips, .training, .zone.
See, .tattoo would be a good one for the up and coming
webcam
tattoo artists.
So yeah, that just gives you an idea. There's, pardon me, got this little cough just starting to come. Yeah, so there's like 400 different dots that you can get, domain names that you can have.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind. And why I thought about this, and just to tell people and remind people, is because a friend of mine registered. She registered and got an ABN for her new company last week.
Yep.
And like within half an hour, she'd had 7 people contact her and say, "We get in quick, register your name, register your domain name, register your domain name." And now like .com here for Glenn, is $20 a year, right?
Yep.
.com, $19.95 per year.
Yep.
They wanted somewhere between like $80 and $200
That's ridiculous.
for the same thing. Just to give you an idea. All
Yep.
right. So
Yep.
aussietechheads.com.au, and then you just go in and find a domain you want, see whether you can have it. There's a whole thing there for you. Of course, there'll be a link in the show notes of what to do.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'll hide that bit now. So, yeah, don't forget that. Aussie Tech Heads Domains. And a very nice little web page there to look at.
They are.
So,
They're a great company, great people.
yeah. Now, Google Fit activity tracking comes to iOS with Apple Watch support. So, I don't know with Apple Watch support. Don't know. Anyway, Engadget reports Google Fit is no longer the sole province of Android users. Google has. Oh, sorry. Don't know what's going on there.
Oh, you're right.
Google has released Fit for iOS, giving you the same tracking of heart points and move minutes as your Android toting friends. And importantly, it's not an island of fitness data. It can connect to Apple Health like other activity apps. So any other app or device that supports health would contribute to your Fit data. Yes, your Apple Watch workouts will count towards your fitness goals. There we go. The app is available now. While it's ultimately about spreading the reach of Google Fit, it could also give you a better reason to buy a Wear OS smartwatch if you're an iPhone user.
Yep.
Your Google Fit data will be readily available on both your phone and your wrist. After all, if nothing else, it's a viable alternative to Apple's activity app. If Apple's activity app proves unappealing.
Ooh. I've got a hello, Karen, who's watching.
Oh, hello, Karen watching. That's an unusual surname, Karen watching.
It's better than Seamons.
We're just spunky people, mate.
That's right.
So, I don't really have any more stories. Please back up. I've had a few people with major hassles this week for not backing up.
Yep. What else do I want? I wanted to talk about something else. Did we get any replies from the question we asked last week? Because we talked about the women.
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, then I'll leave that alone.
Okay. Now, firstly, before we have our next show, happy birthday, Zarn.
Oh, thank you very much, Michael. Yes.
So that's before our next show.
It will be. I'll be turning 22.
Don't forget the show notes on your download, wherever you get your favourite podcast from, being this one.
That's right.
And say it's just Apple's podcasts or Spotify or whether you use Pocket Cast or whatever your podcast app is, there are show notes in there. This week's ending in 284. And if you go to aussiemaxzone.com.au, you can see the last 5 weeks of show notes and watch or listen to the last 5 weeks of the show.
Yep.
You can search for Aussie Max Zone on Spotify. You can search for Aussie Max Zone on YouTube.
We're there.
Thanks to our sponsors, this week being Aussie Tech Heads Domains.
Yep.
And IT Help to you.
Yep.
And more importantly, our supporters, you, our listeners.
You guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And over to you, sir.
I just want to say, have a great evening, and an apple a day keeps Android away, guys. See ya.